Interesting. Why is that so effective?
Aggression is a very primordial instinct, and it activates both the positive emotion systems, which are forward moving, and the negative emotion systems that awaken you. High stress, like there's nothing more stressful than being angry. It's very psychophysiologically stressful. As a form of alerting arousal, in some ways it's unparalleled, and it's great to have it at hand. The Freudian model with regard to aggression was repression. Like we have this terrible id that's trying to make itself clamber upward, all red and tooth and claw. There's some truth in that, but his model of how that was regulated by socialization, it was insufficient. It's not repression. It's not inhibition. Now, he kind of knew that because he talked about sublimation. A competitive child who's socialized integrates the capacity for aggression into the game, and then he becomes the player every kid wants on his team because he still wants to win. So he's got that forward driving intensity and skill, but he does that in a manner that brings everyone along with him, right? And so then aggression isn't inhibited, it's integrated. And the more aggression you can integrate, well, the more compelling you are. 100%. That's what women are after. I think the fundamental female hero story is essentially Beauty and the Beast. And a woman is after a civilized beast. Literally, all female pornography has that structure. Civilized beast, and it can tilt a little hard in the beast direction when it gets a little masochistic, and it, can turn a little hard in the civilized direction when it's kind of when it's a romance that tilts more in the direction of friendship. Woody Allen would probably be a good example of that as a character in his own movies. You can imagine that there's a range in there where the solution can be offered in a variety of different forms.
Yeah, I think you were the one that pointed me to a book that was utterly transformational, A Billion Wicked Thoughts.
Yeah, right.
What I find really interesting is it isn't just a civilized beast, it is a beast I civilize with my magic hoo-ha, which is what they say in the book.
Right.
But that I find very interesting and has somehow become controversial.
Women probably did the same thing to men that humans did to wolves.
That's interesting, man. Tell me more about that. That is really interesting.
Well, you want a wolf that's trying to eat you, or do you want a wolf on your side? Well, that's the situation women are in. You've seen the cartoons from the 1940s, I think they were the 40s, with the wolf who's completely sexually, obsessed with, and he's always after the singer who sings "Oh Wolfie." It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, women definitely tame men, obviously, yes, clearly. They probably tamed them by offering them sex and fruit, so women are gatherers, they're not hunters.
Really makes me sad. Public discussion around this, people get so weird about so fast. You actually did a really amazing interview. I think her name was Dr. Sarah Hill.
Yeah, Sarah was good.
I found that utterly fascinating, talking about just what men do to get women's attention, the demands that women make it. Yeah, literally. That all the things.
Everything and anything is the answer to that.
100%. My success is literally tied to my desire to impress my now wife, then fiance, when I really turned it on. I was like, whoa, I've got to become
the correlation between male trappings of socioeconomic success and male reproductive success, it's like 0.7. For women, it's negative, lower than 0. Men aren't looking in women for what women look for in men.
Correct.
So, and not a bit even. And that plays out also in the structure of female motivation. Men are very competitive and unidimensional in some ways, one-eyed, you might say, right? And there's an immense symbolic web of associations around that idea, the one-eyed giant. Well, the penis is a one-eyed giant, obviously. It's part of a seeking system, seeking women, and it'll do that unidimensionally, right? And men are like that. Freud knew this, that men are like this from the cellular level up. And so they'll hyper-specialize obsessively in a manner women are just not interested in. They can, but they're not interested in it. And partly they're not interested in it because that doesn't attract men, that capability.